It comes as the government accepts that some personal protective equipment is in short supply. They say they're doing everything they can to bring in more.
We've got to do more to get the PPE that people need to the front line. This is an extremely challenging situation.
The government says 84 tonnes of personal protective equipment is due to arrive tomorrow from Turkey, including 400,000 gowns. Hello, very good evening to you. The government says it accepts that some personal protective equipment is in short supply. Speaking at a press conference this afternoon, the Community Secretary, Robert Jenrick, said more must be done to get PPE to frontline NHS workers. He said 84 tonnes of it were due to arrive tomorrow from Turkey. Last night, Public Health England issued advice suggesting health workers should either substitute or reuse personal protective equipment when treating COVID-19 patients, and that has raised concerns among doctors and nurses.
Good evening. Almost half of nursing staff who responded to a survey say they've felt pressured to care for a patient without the appropriate personal protective equipment. The Royal College of Nursing says having the correct PPE during the COVID-19 pandemic is fundamental to personal safety. The Scottish Government maintains it's absolutely determined all health and social care staff are provided with the right protective equipment.
Almost 1,500 staff responded to the RCN survey in Scotland. 226 said they worked in the highest risk environments. Almost half of all respondents felt pressure to care for a patient without the appropriate PPE. A quarter of those in the highest risk environments said they hadn't had their face masks tested for fit, while 47% said they'd been asked to reuse single-use equipment. The Scottish Government said no minister was available for interview today.
Good afternoon. A shortage of personal protective equipment is creating immense distress for Welsh nurses, according to the Royal College of Nursing. The union surveyed its members in Wales and found more than half who took part have felt pressured to care for a patient without adequate protection. The Welsh Government says it's issued more than 16 million extra items of PPE to frontline health and social care workers.
Hello, good evening. The Public Health Agency says a further 17 people have died of COVID-19 in Northern Ireland. It brings the total number of deaths to 193. Also today, the Royal College of Nursing has described as shocking the fact nurses here should feel under pressure to work without the recommended personal protection equipment. Ita Duncan reports.
And as families here come to terms with the loss of loved ones, our medical and social care staff continue to treat and help those who are sick and most vulnerable. According to the Royal College of Nursing, there is still concern over the supply and usage of personal protective equipment.
Something the RCN say is backed up by a survey carried out across the United Kingdom over the Easter weekend. 600 nurses from Northern Ireland took part in the survey. 42% of them said they had to reuse PPE labelled for single use.